What's poppin', my gamers? It's your boy, Savior 3.0, back at it again with another great, fantastical video for your entertainment. That's right, free of charge. I know, I'm so generous. I just give you my time for nothing. Because I'm the Savior, and I'm here to give you the right opinions. The only opinions that matter, that's mine. Okay guys, so today we're going to be talking about why old games were so much more superior than modern games. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about the game industry and how it's basically turned into a pile of shit. Okay? Now, I know, Savior, you talked about gaming in your last video. What's all this gaming content? Are you becoming a gaming channel now? No, guys, that's not true, okay? I just really want to talk about games right now because we're in self-isolation and that's all we can do is play with our hands, if you get me. Or, better yet, get yourself a girlfriend and play with her hands, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, yeah, let's get on with the video and let's talk about why modern gaming industry has become super toxic pile of wank, okay? And enjoy. So welcome back, my sinners, and let's jump into this. Okay, let's just jump right in, as they say, as the YouTubers say nowadays. Let's jump into it. Okay, so back in the good old days, okay, you would simply go into a game shop, you would greet the friendly young nice man or young nice woman, and you would say, "Excuse me, sir, can I buy a game off you?" And they would be like, "Of course, Sonny Jim. How about you buy 3 games for only £10? Because sometimes you would find like special deals where you can get 3 games for £15 or something like that. You know, these were the good old times, okay? And you would just buy the games, you would take them home, you would slide them into your shitty little console, and you would play away. And you would experience quality games, that's right, because this was the day and age before basically the greed of corporations and the greed of companies and the greed of basically modern day entertainment and current technologies took over, and basically, you know, we live by corporations now, we live by companies, we live by these technologies, therefore they know that we are simply sheep and they are the shepherd, and whatever they do, we're gonna put up with it because it's not like we're gonna stop buying their stuff, okay? It's not like we're ever gonna stop purchasing and consuming content. That's right. So they could gauge up the prices, gouge up the prices, gauge up the prices, gouge up the prices. I'm not sure of the terminology. It's something beginning with G, okay? Gauge up the prices. Anyway, they would price gouge, I'm not sure if that's correct, but you know what I'm trying to say, don't you, Sonny Jim? They would basically ram up the prices where now for nowadays, when you buy a AAA game, okay, it will cost you £50 to £60. Now that is absolutely disgusting, because that's your hard-earned money, and they just want to take that for one simple game, okay? It didn't used to be like that. We've just gotten kind of brainwashed and lulled into buying this kind of, you know, this kind of money, giving away this kind of money just for a AAA game, okay? Now, fair enough if it's a polished, beautiful, actually good AAA game, for example, like the Metro series, or something like The Last of Us, where it's got high production, it's got actors, it's got amazing gameplay, you know, all these things come into a great package. But because now the gaming industry has become completely blown up, it's become so oversaturated, where indie developers and, you know, there are so many different subcategory of game studios, like Bethesda has like so many little category, you know, so many little mini game developers inside their big industry, and they can make their own games. You know, that's not just for Bethesda, there's like tons of game companies that do this now, okay? So, what I'm saying is, there's a shit ton of games out there that are being produced every single goddamn day, and you can't get away from it, okay? So, obviously with this oversaturation, and with the game industry becoming more and more popular, and yes, it got the recognition that it deserved, because back, you know, 10, 15 years ago, gaming was still, like, weird. People thought, "You're a gamer? What are you, some kind of nerd?" Now, if you don't game, you're the weirdo, okay? That's the weird thing about all of this, okay? And it's funny because now I don't even like games that much because of this toxic environment that gaming has become, okay? A lot of it now is just online multiplayer garbage, okay? Now, yes, there is good multiplayer games. I do enjoy playing multiplayer games, but there are a lot of the same, reused assets, reused ideas, this battle royale kind of gaming phenomenon that kind of took off only a few years ago. There are these multiplayer games that are basically carbon copies of each other. Like, there's like 5,000 Overwatches now. There League of Legends, there are so many clones. Dark Souls, there are even clones of that because people saw that it's popular. I'm just saying there are so many games right now, and most of them are shit, is what I'm trying to say. And the problem with multiplayer games and modern day gaming industry, the worst thing about all of this is not just the prices have gone up so much, it's also the fact that that's not enough. They want more money, they want to take your money and they want to shove it back right up their asses so they can produce more shit, okay? And that is microtransactions, okay? Microtransactions, guys. Hooray. Thank you, microtransactions. I love you. I couldn't live without you, okay? We saw this with Star Wars Battlefront. EA completely screwed that up. I mean, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the old game on PlayStation 2, on PC, whatever, okay? That's still a better game than this shiny, beautiful graphical masterpiece, but it's hollow, it's empty, it has no essence. It's just a hollow piece of corporate shit. And they know that people like Star Wars, they know that people like the universe, the films. They did the same thing with the movies. I mean, these gaming and movie companies, they will just take anything if they can make money from it. They don't care about the intellectual property, they don't care about the original ideas, the people who actually thought of these ideas, the original creativity that went into making something actually good, like Ratchet and Clank, for example. I know that's the gameplay footage I'm showing at the moment. They don't care as long as they can make money. That's what I'm saying. It's become a world of greed, a world of buy, consume. If you're not a good consumer, you're not a good citizen. Get the fuck out of my house, okay? That's the world we live in right now. And gaming has just, even though it's not really that big deal, okay? It's not a big deal. It's not like we're talking about Africans who are starving from Ebola, okay? We're talking about games. But it's a peak example of Western civilization and, the consumer mentality and the greed that companies now have, and it's completely ruined the gaming industry, in my opinion. And like I said, a big part of that is microtransactions, but it doesn't stop there. You go on to Call of Duty now. I remember the days when you were just sliding Call of Duty, you would play a couple of games with your friends, you could do split screen, whatever, okay? But now you go on to Call of Duty, and if you're online, if you're signed in online and you're not in offline mode, it will come up with a goddamn miniature website built into the game itself. I know, it's goddamn crazy. It will tell you about all these new things that they've added and how you can buy them all for only £4.99 per month. It never stops. It never stops is what I'm trying to say. They will take your money no matter how they can. So, how can we combat this? How can we make gaming companies realize that they need to change, okay? Well, first of all, you can stop buying their games. You can, maybe be a pirate. Be a pirate. I'm not endorsing that, I'm just saying that's what some people do, and it's a no-no, guys. Don't do it. It's a no-no. No. If you get what I'm saying, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. Don't pirate games. Pirating games is bad. It's so hard to do, okay? It's really hard to do, and don't do it, okay? That's another way we can stop these assholes, and if everyone does this and people stop buying and consuming all the time, maybe then things will change. Maybe then people will actually put effort into their creations. They won't just put out the most basic pile of wank and then add extra crap on at the end and expect people to purchase it, because that's what gaming has become now. That's what most games have become. Now, I'm not saying there aren't good games out there, okay? Like Doom, like Doom Eternal, like Metro series, like, you know, there's many good single player, high quality games, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, whatever. The Outer Worlds, there are so many good games out there. I'm not saying there aren't good games, I'm not saying there aren't good multiplayer games, okay, or RPGs, or whatever the hell it is that tickles your little gaming bones, okay? I don't know anymore, because like I said, I only play a few select games. But the industry has become poison, okay? And it's not just that, okay? Now that's the overlay of the problem, okay? That's like the outer shell of what the problem has become, okay? So if you're up to date on that, now we can go a little bit to the inner shell, the inner core problem, okay? And that is the game developers themselves who have become lazy, who have become complacent, who have just copied trends, and that's all they care about, okay? Because they know that this certain trend will sell, this certain trend is popular, okay? Back in the good old days, back when gaming was fresh and popping, okay, you know, games had original ideas, okay? They had original mechanics, okay? You would pick up two different games on like PlayStation 2 or whatever, and they wouldn't be the same, okay? They would be very, very different, unless of course they were, you know, something like interlinked, okay? Interlinked, I'm sorry. Anyway, you would pick up different games and they would be different, okay? But now, because they know what sells, they know what's popular, okay? They will take the same goddamn mechanics and reuse them over and over again. I don't think I've played a game where it has a different stealth mechanic for over 5 years, okay? It's always the same shit. You hide in a magical bush and you're invisible, okay? Or, you know, you climb up this certain little pathway and it does exactly the same thing. You know, the combat style is exactly the same. You know, there are so many reused things and ideas is what I'm saying, and it's just disgusting, okay? There are so many games like this, and there are no original ideas anymore, no original mechanics. Yes, sometimes games do bring in original mechanics, okay? And that's very good to see. But a lot of the time, it's just the same old trash, okay? It's the same old mechanics, and I'm so goddamn tired of it. Why can't we just make something new? Why can't we try and experiment a little bit? Show some initiative, okay? Now, you might be saying, hey, that's what a lot of indie developer games do, okay? And yes, you might be right. Maybe there are a few hidden gems out there, and I'm not denying that. But I'm just saying the big AAA company games basically are all the same, just with a new skin, just with a new slap of paint. And that's what gaming has become, and we need to change the inner core, and then we need to tackle the much bigger problem, which is the outer core of the industry of entertainment and consumer capitalism itself, which of course will never happen, but we can at least try and change the inner core and make games more interesting, more unique, and have new mechanics, okay? I'm so tired of seeing the same old stuff over and over again, you know, playing the same games basically, even though they're completely separate games. It doesn't grip you anymore. Nothing grips you, okay? Well, at least that's how I feel. I don't know how you feel, but this is how I feel, okay? And another problem is with modern day games, okay? It's not just the money grabbing, the microtransactions, the built-in websites, the stupid little cosmetic shit that you can buy for so much money. You know, it's not just the same game mechanics being used over and over and over and over again, okay? That's not the only problem, okay? There are so many problems when it comes to the industry, okay? That it's just crazy. I don't know why people can't see it, why people are refusing to fight it. I know, like, there are some channels out there who have done a really great job at bringing the gaming community together and, you know, not putting up with this bullshit like the Angry Joe show. But more people need to talk about it. More people need to demand more from, you know, something that they pay so much for when it's just simply so basic, okay? And I'm just completely sick of it. I just thought I would give you my little thoughts on why the gaming industry has changed so much throughout time and why it's become completely trash, okay, nowadays. Because I remember playing games back when I was a child, and it could just be the nostalgia part of it. I'm not denying that some of it is just that, but it is also that games were very, very different back then. You could have a first-person, a third-person game, or like, you know, just there were so many different ideas back then, so many different mechanics going on. Now it's the same thing, like with open world games. You have to do these same regurgitated quests. You have to go and gather a certain amount of things. You have to skin, and you know, it's all just the same shit. You know, like Far Cry, for example. That's a prime example of a game that has been reused and repackaged so many times, okay? And I'm just really tired of it, and I just think that people need to demand a little bit more, and that's my thoughts on why modern day games and the older games are so very different. And it just feels like game developers have kind of just decided to put less effort into it because they know that it will sell anyway, and they don't care so much about the soul of the game. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but you know, you can play a lot of games now at times, and it just feels like something's missing. It feels like something's not quite there. It doesn't feel like they really put all the effort into it. They didn't really care about the, you know, the creation itself of what they were trying to build, okay? They were just more focused on how many mechanics, how many things can we fit into this product that will make it seem like you know, worthwhile, that it makes it seem like we've got so much going on here, when actually it's very bare bones. Because you can have a game with very little mechanics, but can still grip you and can still be very interesting and enticing if it has, you know, interesting characters, if it has interesting mechanics, if it has an interesting, unique, like, universe slash world, okay? So I'm just sick of it, and I just thought I would talk about it. The only games I'm looking forward to this year is Cyberpunk 2077, and I think that's it. That's pretty much it. Anyway, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it around if you are a gamer like me, because I'm a gamer, I love games. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and stay sexy. A new song is coming. The Savior is focusing on music. Make sure to stream my music on Spotify and all that good stuff. And remember, don't play many games. Just go out and wander around in the countryside. Go kill some rabbits and put them in a stew pot and have some rabbit stew, okay? See you in the next video. Peace.